Hello everyone, this is me Pooja Training Wali from Rehan AI Teachers Training Level 2, and you are watching my Task to Success show where we meet with different people. We come to know about their experience, about their life story, their success story, and so on. So, I welcome you all to this Task to Success show and a warm welcome to my guest, Samara Jane, who accepted my invitation and gave me time and also gave me an opportunity to know about herself. So let's start our show. But before that, I would like to say, Samara Jani, to thanks to accept my invitation and give me your valuable time. So hello, Samara, how are you?
Hello, Pooja. I'm well, thank you, and thank you for having me. I enjoy these interviews, so it's lovely to be here.
Yes, no need to say thanks. Even it is an honor for me to have you in my show. Okay, Samara, first of all, give me a short intro of yourself and also tell me a little about your background so that my viewers, my audience can come to know about yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, so I am from Australia, from southeast Australia. At the moment, it's winter. It's very cold. Well, I think it's cold anyway. Um, my background is I am a teacher. So I teach English language. I also teach music and yoga, meditation. I do those practices as well. Um, and I've been teaching English language for about 20 years. And I really enjoy the role. And I also do literacy, numeracy, and digital support for people doing their apprenticeships. So people who are learning plumbing and building and gardening, horticulture. I help them with their reading and writing skills. And so it's a very rewarding job. I've also started running or building an online business. It's something I've been doing for a little bit over a year now, and it's been challenging but very rewarding. It's been a wonderful learning curve. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment. I feel like I'm going through some changes, and I'm trying to affect some changes in the direction that I've been going. That's me in a
Okay,
nutshell.
thank you so much, Samara.
Hmm.
Nice to know about your background, such an inspiring personality. Okay, I think so. You told about your state, and I didn't catch that in which state of Australia you are living. So, can you please tell me?
Yeah, sure. So I'm in Victoria. So in Australia, there are different states. So the capital city in my state is Melbourne. So I'm
Oh,
closest to Melbourne. But I do live in the country. So for me to go to Melbourne, it's about 3.5 hours away on the train or a drive. And so I'm sort of up near the border. There's where I live, there are lots of mountains and rivers, and it's a very beautiful place to live, very peaceful. I'm out of town a little bit. I live in a very small country town, and I drive 20 minutes to go to work. But I'm surrounded by national park, which I absolutely adore. So I do lots of walking, and I go bike riding, yeah, out into the forest, the state forest and national park. And yeah, it's just a really lovely place to live. Where I am, we have 4 seasons. So in the summer, it does get very hot. But right now, we're in winter. We're just starting really to get into the cold winter. And there's already a little bit of snow up in the mountains. Um, where I live, there's no snow. I would have to drive maybe uh, an hour, an hour and a bit to get to the snow, which is kind of cool. Pardon the pun, which is really cool. But yeah, but where I live, there's no snow, but it does get quite frosty. So sometimes you can get it's like really, really, it's like icy. The grass is icy and crunchy when you walk on it. And so when I'm gardening, I need to be mindful of what I put in the garden so that it's okay with the frost and it's okay with summer, our really hot summers. So we've got some beautiful native plants and flowers that can survive those conditions. Yeah.
Yeah, now I get it that you are from Melbourne, and my many relatives are also living in Melbourne. So I
Ah.
have little knowledge about it, how state this is, and this is the capital and very beautiful nature-wise. Okay,
Yeah.
so
No,
as you, yes, yes, you can carry on.
oh, no, sorry. You keep going, Pooja. What were you going to say?
Okay. Okay. So, as you said that you have been teaching for 20 years, so can you tell me that what inspired you to become a teacher? Was it your desire from the childhood and you became a teacher by chance? What was behind it?
It really was by chance. I started my training in 2006, and it was actually suggested by my parents. They saw an advertisement for it, and they said, well, maybe you could become an English language teacher, and that could be a way that I could travel and visit different countries around the world and work. And I thought it was a great idea. And so the training was very intensive. And then I got a job at the college where I did the training. They offered me a job there.
That's
And I,
great.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I worked with them for a couple of years. And then I worked in Melbourne altogether for about 8 years, teaching IELTS, academic English, English for academic purposes, and general English as well. And then yeah, so the opportunity then took me to work in different countries around Asia. So I started in Malaysia and went to Kazakhstan, which was wonderful, and then went to Vietnam, went there for a couple of years. And now I've come back to Australia. I came back in 2018 and I'm now teaching, I started teaching English to refugees from Africa and other migrants in our area. So it's not so much of academic English anymore. It's more about English for the community, for settlement into the community. Yeah, so it's very, very interesting, a really wide variety of purposes, reasons that people want to learn English. Um, and just so, people from all kinds of countries all over the world, which is just valuable and an honor to be in the classroom where you've got people from South America, from Asia, from the Middle East, from the northern European countries, and they're all together and they're meeting each other for the first time and they're excited about meeting somebody from Pakistan, for example, or meeting somebody from Brazil or meeting somebody from Sweden. And everybody is there for the same reason, and they develop friendships, and it ends up being a really enjoyable experience.
Yes, teaching is a very good profession, and we get much more knowledge. Even we learn at every stage, no matter how experienced we are, but we learn from each other.
Absolutely.
Okay, tell me the what are the some of the biggest changes you have seen in education throughout your career? As you said that you have experience of 20 years of teaching. So, what changes you have seen?
Oh goodness, it would have to be the biggest change would be technology, definitely. So in
Exactly.
2004, yeah, in 2014, when I was teaching in Malaysia, one of the programs they had there was called e-learning, and I was a facilitator. So where I was living in Sabah, I had another group hundreds of miles away in Sarawak. And so I was facilitating their online learning component. Now, for me, that was quite, I knew a little bit about computers, but I'd never taught online before. And I'd certainly never had a classroom of maybe 20 to 25 students sitting in a classroom, and I could see them on a screen. They could see me on a screen, and we're doing a teaching and learning lesson. It was very interesting. There was a lot of confusion, a lot of scratching heads, a lot of, it was new for them too. And, all the issues that come with working in a remote situation where the internet connection wasn't great, kept dropping out and the sound wasn't great. The technology was still, coming along. And I'm sure that Malaysia's got a much better system now. But that was really interesting. And then, of course, the pandemic, that forced everybody to go online. And that's when I first started really teaching students one to one online and developed my own business. That's where I first started. I tried anyway. Um, but then after the pandemic, I ended up going back to the college where I now work. And so I dropped teaching online. But it was still a very good experience. There are a lot of programs and software programs where it's really easy to set up. And I could easily, if I had have kept with it, I could have probably developed it into something much more successful. But that's been the biggest change in technologies is mind blowing. And I think, but not only that, it's the topics. So when you're talking about, some of the topics are, people are talking about well-being a lot more. People are talking about, of course, technology and AI and the effects of AI, but it's a lot more about relationships that we develop with our own self. So it's the self-development kind of topics are coming out much more comfortably now. Whereas back when I first started, people really didn't talk about the self-development stuff as much as they do now. So those sorts of topics are coming out for suggestions in the speaking activities that come out. There's a company, it's called Film English, and it's brilliant. They come out with really short films with videos, and then you've got lesson plans and things like that around it. And some of the topics are really like, wow, this is awesome. I'd love to use this material because it's juicy. I love talking about this stuff, about self-development and things like that. So the topics have changed, and of course they would, because what we talk about in society is relevant. What the topics are in the media and in our lives in society is what we bring into the classroom. So that, as a teacher, you want to choose something that's going to inspire the students to want to be involved. For like if I was talking to you about mechanics of a car, today we're going to talk about brakes on the
Yes.
car. We're going to talk about the clutch and the fan belt and things like that. You probably go, oh, I don't want to talk about that. But if we talk about something that's a little bit
Yes.
more interesting, so the topics change to be relevant for the students. So I've seen that a big change there. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with your point. The biggest change in our education is technology, or we can say the AI science. If we talk about ourselves, that today we are both are at miles of distance, longer distance, but we are connected to each other virtually. So this is all due to the technology. So I
Mm-hmm.
agree with your point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now you are a teacher at vocational college, am I right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So, as a vocational college teacher, what skills do you think are the most important for students today?
So really, they're looking at, of course, it's, their job. So it's all about employment. And if they haven't got a job already, they're doing the training to be able to get work. So it's more of a focus on employment rather than university study, or even just not. It's not only about being a migrant and learning the English for settlement. It's a lot of it is who I'm helping now are local students who are working towards getting employment, and that could be they're upskilling, so they're learning new skills for themselves. A lot of them, they might come from school, straight out of school, or they might be mature age students who go back to school, which I love, which is great to see. And it could be, that some people have been in a trade and now they're at an age where they've got a sore back, or they've got a sore shoulder, or they've got a sore hip, and so they can't do their trade anymore. So they want to learn how to do something else and start something else. So we see a lot of that as well. So the students are different and they have a different motivation, a different reason for being there. Some of the students who are doing apprenticeships, so it's like work and learn at the same time. And apprenticeships usually go for about three
Exactly.
years. Yeah, for about 3 years. So they get paid and their employer pays them to come to the vocational college 1 week every month to learn about their trade. And that ensures that they're learning everything they need to about safety and different systems and things like that. So it's very interesting. It's a really interesting job, and I enjoy working in an environment where I can have the opportunity to make learning fun. A lot of the teachers, the trade teachers, they're experts, they are masters at what they do, but often they haven't been in the classroom before. There might be new teachers, so they're not familiar with teaching itself. So I go in and I do team teaching with them, and I bring my teaching skills to their content, and I create activities that are interactive and the students are participating or learning in a different way from an academic point of view. And then you've got the content teacher who's very specific about their expertise, whether that be gardening, or sports turf, or it could be plumbing, building, those sorts of things, hairdressing, accounting, and bookkeeping. Yeah, so that gets really interesting. So I get to work with a variety of different learning areas, which is really cool.
Wow, such a nice thought. I really appreciate your thinking. Okay, so
Mm.
you are teaching for 20 years. So, can you please tell me the most rewarding part of your teaching journey, or we can say the most memorable part that makes you
Sure.
happy?
Absolutely. You know, sometimes when you go through you've got a goal and there's an objective that you need to reach, and you just don't know if it's going to happen, if it's going to get there. And a lot of the times there is no hindsight. The students finish the course and they go off and live their life, or they go to university, or they just move on and you don't hear back from them. But there was this one situation when I was teaching in Malaysia, and the work that I was doing there was helping the local teachers improve their English, as well as teaching them some methodology on how to teach. And I got contacted about a year later from about a handful of students, and they said, "Thank you. They improved their level. They passed the exam. They got a pay rise, and they got a good position in their jobs, and they were very grateful." And that was rewarding. That was great because I got to a little bit of an insight about the results of my work and how that made an impact for them, a positive impact for them. And that was good, really good.
Yeah, such a good moment, really. Okay, so when I came to know about your profile, I have searched that along with the teaching, you're also about to building an online business. So, can you please tell me what motivated you to start this new venture?
To be honest, I've been doing my role now for quite a long time, and it's probably something that I will keep doing. I enjoy teaching. Um, the but is that it's only 53. I'm about to turn 53. It's my birthday soon. The retirement age in Australia
Okay.
here for women is 67, and I don't like the
Yeah,
idea of retiring when I'm 67. I want to retire before I'm 60. So the idea is for me to ease back a little bit on the workload. At the moment, it's 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and the only time I get off is Saturday and Sunday, and that seems to be a rush to get all my domestic stuff done, or I'm doing my domestic work before and after work, and it's just all work. So I want to be, and we get 4 weeks holiday in a year. We do get a lot of public holidays. Recently, we had a long weekend, so things like that. But I don't want to keep doing what I'm doing for another 15 years. So, the idea of developing this online business is to be able to step away from that and to be able to work from home a little bit more and build something that's mine where it's from me and coming towards me, supporting me, and a little bit more. And, like I said, I still love teaching, so I will probably continue teaching a couple of days a week. I'd like to do it a couple of days a week, but then still be able to have an income so that I can still maintain my bills, and just, my day daily living lifestyle.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, and online business is also in the trending right now.
It certainly is. It's very busy out there in the online world, which is great. That's the transition that we really expected from the pandemic. There was always going to be, I mean, well, even when the internet first started, it was only a matter of time before we moved into this space. So I think the sooner you start learning these skills, the better. And it's only going to help in the future. Like what we learned with the pandemic, anything can happen at any time. And the whole world, we were all caught on the back foot. We scrambled. We tried to keep things going, business as usual. And it was difficult in a lot of places, and a lot of places fell apart. So to be able to have a step and have the skills that it's ready for, if should that ever happen again, it hopefully won't be so dramatic. Um, but also, it's an inevitable way of our society and our life. That's where we're going. And at the same time that I say that, it does need to be in perspective. I'm a huge lover of nature. There is nothing that we're not losing our humanity, and we're not losing our earth, our planet Earth, and this moon, the stars, the sun, the soil, all that sort of stuff is still relevant to us. But moving into the online space for work and for all kinds of things, I think is an inevitability. As much as there has been libraries full of books, there's now an internet full of, shop fronts.
So, what kind of business do you want to start? You want to build up your own brand or any other
Mm.
kind?
Yeah, so I am building up my own personal brand, but I'm also partnering with another company, and that company creates wellness products, and I then sell those wellness products as a distributor, or I share those products
Like
as a distributor.
e-commerce?
Exactly. Yep. And they're high ticket products, which means the commission is really high, and so the income is very rewarding. Um, that's one stream. I've got some other ideas. I want to develop some online courses. Learning English language, there will always be a need for that. So I eventually want
Yeah.
to start building, some language courses online. I think that would be quite valuable. Um, and it's really just learning the systems and how to be able to produce something and then market it and then make it a viable product, a valuable product that can then be supportive. So it's really the idea. I've got the distributor um, stream going with the wellness products, which I love the wellness product. I use them in my own life. I've done a lot of research around the science of those products, and they're awesome. And then also some of my other skills that I can share, such as, I'm a big advocate for supporting women into moving into spaces where they're not familiar with, because I've been through that journey. So I'd like to be able to support women to do the same. Um, Meditation courses, the English language courses, like there's no end. It's anything that I have to share is valuable to somebody. So being able to package that and put that together in the online space, I think is that's the goal. Mm.
Yeah, and I really get much more inspiration from your side. So thank you so much. But before that, I would request you to leave our audience with one message or life lesson.
Oh, goodness me, one message for life lesson. It would be, when you start something new, but you feel it in your bones that it's the right thing to do, but you're really scared, because you don't know if it's going to work, or you don't know if you can do it. If you've got the skills, do it anyway. When you first start learning something, you might remember, I don't know, maybe you've learned to play a musical instrument. So I play a musical instrument. It doesn't sound good the first time. It doesn't sound good for the first year. It takes years to be able to sound good on a musical instrument.
Exactly.
Maybe when you first learned to ride a bicycle, if you learned to ride a bicycle, you fell off all the time. And then it takes a little while before you get your balance. And then maybe when I was a kid, I can't do it now, I used to ride with no hands. But, it takes time to develop skills to be good at whatever it is you decide to do. So if there's something you're like, I wish I could do that, but I'm too old, or I don't know if I can do it, or I'm worried about what people will think about me, just go for it. Go for it. You've got nothing to lose. And you want to get to the end of your life and say, yeah, I did it. And if you fail, it doesn't matter. You still had a go. There's no such thing as failure when you have a go.
Yes, you are totally right. And in my opinion, that failure is the key to success. It gives us opportunity to stand again and to do something. So,
Absolutely.
yes, such a good suggestion. I hope that personally I get much more inspiration from your personality and the message you gave to my audience. I really like, and it is 100% real. So I hope that my audience will also follow this message. So I am again thankful to you that you gave me time from your busy schedule. I really respect your time, value your time. So thank you so much. Inshallah, I will meet you again.
Thank you,
Allah
Pooja. Thank
Hafiz.
you. Okay. Thank you.
So, so guys, this was my today's guest, Samara, who shared her life experience, her story, and many much valuable insight. I hope you all enjoyed the sessions. So be positive, be happy, and stay connected with me for more upcoming sessions. We'll meet you very soon. Till then, Allah Hafiz.